Old guy in shed here. So V7. For those of you who saw my last episode, you know I acquired this V7. Lovely little bike. I've decided, because today is so hot, so sunny, so beautiful, the lovely little motorbike, we're going to actually take it out for a run and see how we get on. I think it's good just to crack on with this ride rather than talk it, and then I'll have a run around. I'll tell you what I think about it when I get back, and we'll discuss it from there. I think that's the best way to go. So let's go ride a bike, eh? Just for fun. I love it. Okay, here we go with the in-of camera. It's INNOV. Great little camera, but I will say on this occasion I got the lens a little bit to one side. I'll explain in a minute. Pick up my gloves, let's go. Here's the bike, beautiful day, beautiful bike, we're in business. The little mirrors are disgusting. They are just dreadful. Your wrists get in the way, you've got to move your hands to see the mirror. I hope to get the standard mirrors off the chap as soon as we can and put them on as the stock mirror. Like I said, you may notice that the horizon is at I don't know, a 30-degree angle. The lens on my camera on my helmet has got shifted somehow. Yes, you can use my side of the road to come around the corner, it's okay. There we go. That's me being sarcastic, by the way. Our village here is recently become a 20-mile-an-hour zone, so got to be aware of that. They're very keen at the moment because it is a new limit. But with this bike, it's a light, low centre of gravity, very easy to handle at these low speeds. Like I say, if anybody is returning to motorbikes, having had a break, this is a good choice. It's a very good choice. It's full of character, very flexible, very manageable machine. And on a day like this, what's not to love, in fairness? Anybody could do. Loads of traction in the engine. Talking about tractors, here we have a Chelsea tractor, and they are deciding to go left somewhere past the pub. Oh, they're going in here. Here we go. Make a meal of it. I've not really changed them, in a fairly high gear, very tractable. Look at that. Very flexible engine, and this, again, for somebody who is, say, a little less confident or coming back to bikes from a long layoff, this is the one. You know, it wouldn't be a bad choice, let me put it that way. Can't say it's the one. Oh, look at that. A little low slung forward pickup. That's a nice little custom job. I could do with something like that for getting bikes in and out of the back of, with it being a bit of a low deck height, like that. Right, into the countryside now, we're out of the 20-mile-an-hour zone. And like I say, those mirrors, you can just see out the corner of the camera there, but I actually can't see that. My wrist is in my eye line. And I just think they're a waste of time. I can't think of anything worse. I know the standard ones look a bit dated, but they bloody work, and I like to see what's coming up behind me and how fast it's coming up behind me, so I know how to deal with it. But these are just useless. There's a just over this brow, there's a brow we're coming up to in a moment. Just beyond it there's a right turn, and if none of these guys go down it, I will go down it, because I don't want to do a whole segment of riding behind somebody else. I have to say, this is a voiceover. I do know what's coming, so basically I'm cheating a little bit. Well, hey, why not? There's got to be some leeway in these things. Here we go, turning right here, and this is a nice little lane. It's going to see what the bike would be like in the real world, as it were. Again, very flexible, spin it up a little bit more. Engine's still a bit cool, so I don't want to go nuts. And it's a nice test for the bike, because you do realise how nimble and light and easy it is to live with. And you know, if you like a bike to do a lot of different things, this is a good call. I'm not sure I'd want to go to the south of France on it or something. There's a young lad on a bike, give him a wave, nice to see him. But for sure you could do decent size miles on it, quite comfortably, and it's a cracking little commuter bike. It's kind of got a lot going for it in that regard. It's got a lot of different uses, and it's very stylish looking, in my humble opinion. It's not the sort of over flashy fare you get from other manufacturers. It's certainly not dull either, so it really is a good fit for a lot of people. Dare I be sexist enough to say it would, apart from anything else, it would make a good girl's ride. Well, that came out wrong. Hey ho, it came out wrong. Riding this thing is a delight. It really is a delight. Very easy in these little tiny lanes, very flexible. Holding its own, I would say, with an awful lot of machines. And again, it's typically Italian, it's typically Guzzi. It thumps along with an awful lot of character. I mean, if you want a bike with character, this has got bucket loads. And yeah, I also don't think you're riding the same as everybody else. There's kind of a little bit of individuality with it, and they're easy to customise to whatever you like. I mean, this has been customised, got the tail tidy, as they call it, or as I call it, no mudguard, and with these little mirrors, it made it quite a trendy looking bike. Oh, letting me through, thank you very much. Turning left here, and again, from nowhere it pulls, and just smooth as you like. I say, bags of character. Holding its own, I would say, with a lot of other bikes. Now, I rode this bike when it was brand new, and it was this very bike I borrowed for a while, and I don't remember it being as perky as this. I think a little bit of time with it, running it in, servicing it, has loosened the engine up quite a lot, and it has become a much more perky. It's the only word I can kind of think of. It feels a bit more revvy, a little bit more eager to please, and when you're in these sort of little tiny villages and lanes, that's a bonus. It really is, because it wants to do the job. And when you're coming into choke points in little lanes like this, like I'm about to, because much to everybody's surprise, I'm coming up to a tight point in the lane, and there's a van driver splashed me in, and that's where, you know, van drivers out here usually push on, give them a wave, thank you very much sir, nice man, and here we go, into the next little village. I will say it's very civilised, it's not overly noisy. If like me you live in a rural setting, you don't want to be upsetting your neighbours too much with very noisy motorbikes, and this isn't very noisy. It's a very quiet, civilised, is a good word, little motorbike, but when you're on it, it's like rippy and rorty enough to satisfy the rider, and so I think it's a good mix. I think Guzzi have got it really right with this bike, they just do. There's some bikes you sort of get on and go, yeah, it does this okay and that's okay. This does everything well. Okay, it's a 750 and you can get a Sport 600, you know, from Japan, that will mince it, absolutely mince it. I mean, those 600s are monsters when it comes to sheer speed. But if you don't want to ride around with your head down and your arse up, and you want to enjoy a sunny day like this bike does it. It really does all of that for you. we're not all going to be Casey Stoner, and we're just going to enjoy motorcycling. Oh yeah, no, this is going to get all a bit messy. Just twist it out. There you go. That proves my point with this engine. It just goes. And I'm going to just coming out this village now. I'm going to drop a cog and let this spin a bit and see how we get on. There you go. Really does lift out. That really is a nice machine. Nice machine. Now I'm stuck behind another car, which is great. So what I'm going to do is just make our way down here. There's a little space I can give this car. And I'm going to let it just drive away from me a bit to get out of my way. I don't want to overtake, it's a bit dodgy here. So I'm just going to ease off and let it get away from me deliberately. And just keep an eye out behind with these stupid mirrors to make sure I don't get in anybody's way. There's nothing behind it at the moment, so I'll just ease right off, let it go, let him get into the distance a bit, just a bit, so as I can just, without shifting down, it's in top gear. There is a car behind me, a good way behind me, but it is behind me. I don't want him catching up, and I don't want to get in his way. So I'm just going to snap the throttle, well, not snap open, I'm going to ease the throttle open. There we go. Not changing down, and it just grunts away. It's super flexible, and you know, I've caught back up already. This thing really is a pleasant, usable motorcycle. It's very good. So what I'm going to do now is, as we come around this little bend, these bends, I've seen the road's empty, knock it down again, I'm going to spin it up. You can't fault that. What was that? 3 seconds and rounding. That's a nice way to have a machine deliver the power for you. It really is. I don't know if you noticed earlier, I ran over a hedgehog. Hope I haven't got any punctures. It's a good thing it was already dead, not my fault. Got a few of them around here, which is a bit sad to see them on the road squished. And we're now into the 20-mile-an-hour zone. I do kind of stick to it because it's my village, and I don't want anybody knocking on the door saying you're a bloody hooligan. I already knew that. So I'm going to be taking a left turn, which is quite a cut back. You probably won't notice on the camera, but you do cut back on yourself quite a lot. I'm going to come right down to like first gear or whatever, as low as I can. I'm just going to snap open the throttle very quickly to just see what it's like on those low gears. Nice to see the pub busy. And here's our pond. This is our village pond. I did wonder whether or not we could still drown witches in it, but I do quite like the life, so good job we don't. Here we go, into this very slow left-hander. Get right down the gears now. I'm just it'll only be a very quick squirt, but it'll give me the impression that I want, I hope. There we go. And I go. Yeah, very eager to rev. Very clean through the rev band. Absolutely no problems with it. Got to watch this bend here because cars come round it and I'm bearing off to the right. There's been some sticky moments on that junction. Car waiting for me. Nice little wave. Thank you very much. Again, that flexibility showing its worth. And back to base and my shed. So there we go. That was brilliant. Really enjoyed it. What a beautiful day to enjoy a nice, civilised, lively, forgiving bike. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed my impression of it. Hit the like, subscribe and notification bell and what have you, and we'll talk again soon. But just to reiterate very quickly, if any of you have never ridden a Motor Guzzi, this is a good one to start. It's a nice bike, it's very manageable, it's not too heavy to roam around you, in and out of your garage. Here's all my children, look, hello bikes. You can keep up with this bike for a long time. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. Old guy in shed saying ta-ra for now.